Mataji. ततेऽहं दर्शयिष्यामि दिदृक्षोः सुरसत्तमा कामिनां बहुमन्तव्यं संकल्प प्रभवोदयम्. Word for word meanings, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tat, that, te, unto you, aham, I, darshayishyami, shall show, didrikshoho, desirous of seeing, surasattama, O best of the demigods, kamina, of persons who are very lusty, bahu, very much, mantavyam, an object of adoration, sankalpa, lusty desires, prabhav udayam, causing to be strongly aroused. Translation: O best of the demigods, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it in your presence. Repeat after me. O best of the demigods, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it in your presence. Purport: Lord Shiva's desiring to see Lord Vishnu reveal the most attractive and beautiful form of a woman was certainly a joking affair. Lord Shiva knew that he could not be agitated by any so-called beautiful woman. The Daityas may have been bewildered, he thought. But since even the demigods could not be agitated, what to speak of me, who am the best of all the demigods? However, because Lord Shiva wanted to see Lord Vishnu's form as a woman, Lord Vishnu decided to impersonate a woman and show him a form that would immediately put him in an ocean of lusty desires. In effect, therefore, Lord Vishnu told Lord Shiva, I will show you my form as a woman, and if you become agitated by lusty desires, do not blame me. The attractive features of a woman are appreciated by those who are affected by lusty desires. But those who are above such desires, who are on the platform of Krishna consciousness, are very difficult to bewilder. Nonetheless, by the supreme desire of the personality of Godhead, everything can be done. This was to be a test of whether Lord Shiva could remain unagitated. Thus ends beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada, this verse. So before beginning to speak anything on this transcendental subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, I feel utterly disqualified in this matter. So I humbly and desperately beg for the blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I can speak something for my own purification. So section of Srimad Bhagavatam, as different other sections, is very is taking the teaching by taking a very extreme example. It's giving a teaching by taking a very extreme example. We see so many such cases. In fact, most of the cases are like that. Maharaj Yayati, who is considered the personification of dharma, So much so that when Parikshit Maharaj was born and astrologers came to predict his future and they were glorifying him like anything. So there they mentioned that this king will be as dharmic, upholder of religious principles as Yayati Maharaj. In fact, Yudhishthir Maharaj himself, Dharmaraj, he was the grandfather of Parikshit Maharaj. But the example of Yayati Maharaj was given. But same Yayati Maharaj, we see that he himself accepted that I am so much affected by lusty desires that I can't accept this untimely old age. I want to remain young. And for that, even if I have to exchange my old age with the youth, young age of my own sons, even that I am ready to do. And eventually he did that and enjoyed for very long time before realizing uh, the real essence of life. So we see very, very strong examples, great Rajarshis, great devotees, they are there and they are put into such situations. So the main purpose of creating these situations is to teach us. Yesterday, His Grace Murari Hari Prabhu was very nicely mentioning that it is like a drama. So in a drama, in a movie, we are seeing one person is jumping from maybe 10th floor and we see that his leg got broken. But later on, out of the movie, we see he's all right completely. So we should not make the mistake of judging these personalities based on their behavior in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are no one to judge Lord Shiva. He is a very, very exalted personality, practically on the same level as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is great offense if we sometimes we hear these pastimes and we laugh very much and all that. I mean, of course, when a drama is shown, a reaction is expected. But at the same time, we should be very careful and we should remember that why we are hearing these things. The main thing is to get the instruction, to get the teaching, so that we can purify ourselves from our wretched fallen condition. So one should not take these things lightly. And the main purpose of giving these kind of pastimes, the Lord is arranging these kind of pastimes so that we can become very much fixed up, so that we do not deviate even a little bit from the sincere practice of our devotional service. So here Srila Prabhupada says that this desire of Lord Shiva, that he wanted Lord Vishnu to reveal the attractive and beautiful form of a woman, it's like a joking affair. Right? Because Lord Shiva, I mean, he is famous as Dhira. So many examples are given. Yesterday also it was explained in the class that when Parvati Devi was trying to agitate, it was arrangement of demigods to try to agitate Lord Shiva. He was in deep meditation. And even a young woman, and when even the Cupid was trying to agitate, but still they could not agitate Lord Shiva. So he is that kind of Dhira. And here we will see later on that how he becomes agitated. So it is simply because of the desire of the Lord. It is not that Lord Shiva lost his whatever, power of discrimination, or he became lusty, or no, it's not like that. It's simply because of the desire of the Lord. If Lord desires something, it is bound to happen. One of the there is Vishnu Sahasranam, so there are 1000 names, millions of names of the Lord. So one of those names in Sahasranam is Satya Sankalpa. Whatever sankalpa, whatever desire he has, that immediately becomes true. So if the Lord desires, then it has to happen. So that's why the saintly personalities, they saw Lord Shiva behaving in that way, but they could understand that it is only happening because of Lord's desire. So while we are practicing devotional service, so many incidences may happen. And sometimes we may see very advanced devotees, very exalted devotees in circumstances, in situations which may not be commanding so much respect from our side. We may see that maybe they could not do so well or something, which is not so praiseworthy. But we should be very careful. in I've heard in devotee circle they say, "Chacha, pehle apni jaan bach." So, so we should be very careful because if we take it lightly and we ridicule or take it frivolously, then it can affect us very much. So when we take things lightly, actually it symbolizes or it means that somewhere or other we are thinking that we are very special, we are very great, and that is the point where Maya catches. Like here, the Lord is calling Lord Shiva, Tatte ham darshishyami didrikshoh sur sattama. You are the best of demigods. And Srila Prabhupada is also saying in the purport that Lord Shiva was also considering the same thing. The Lord knows the heart of everyone. So Lord Shiva was considering that this Mohini Murti form was shown and the demons got agitated, they got bewildered. But the demigods did not get bewildered. And anyways, among the demigods, I am considered the best and he was the best, he is the best. And he is known as more sober than all other demigods, more sense controlled. So this word here, Sur Sattama, it signifies that Lord Shiva's position is very special. This teaches us that the moment we start considering that our case is special, that is where our downfall begins. It's a famous saying in English, pride comes before a fall. So when we become proud of our capacity, of whatever competence, whatever character we think we have, then that is where Maya gets a point to strike. People generally, they make a list of their strengths and weaknesses and they do SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness analysis. So these areas I am very strong. So I want to capitalize, I want to play in these areas. And these areas I have weakness. So I'll be very careful in these areas. I should be very vigilant that Maya does not attack. But these areas I am sure no problem will be there. I am very solid in these areas. Maya also makes, I think, this kind of a list. He is thinking he is strong in these areas. So these are the points where I can hit him. Because here he will be unguarded. Here he will forget that necklace. He will give up that ornament of a Vaishnava. Trinadapi suni chena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sadhari. He will give up that attitude which will help him to remember Lord Hari always, which will help him to glorify Lord Hari always. Kirtaniya Sadhari. What is that attitude? Trinadapi sunichena. I am more humble than a blade of grass. I should be more tolerant than a tree. I should not expect any respect for myself and I should always be willing to give all respect to others. So when we are doing something which is our strength area, or when we are dealing with some situation which we think this is our strong area, I do not get bewildered by talking with Matajis, my strong area. Some other devotees I have seen, they are very fearful, but this is my strong area. And my sadhana is my strength. I think I have great interest in attending morning program. I am very fixed up. So, the moment we start thinking like this, what happens? Will we maintain the attitude, Trinadapi sunichena amanina? No. Then our attitude will be, no, I am strong in this. I'll perform like that. And when we think, this is my weakness area, I am so inattentive in Mangal Aarti and I struggle really very much in my japa and I really struggle very much in hearing Bhagavatam class. All these things. I have no desire to serve the Lord. When services come, I try to think how I can avoid this, how I can just get it done and get myself, get rid of it somehow. Just finish it off and free myself from that. I desire mukti. So, when we think in this way, then what will be our attitude? Oh Lord, oh my spiritual master, oh Srila Prabhupada, I am so unqualified, I am not able to do this. Please bless me. Please please empower me that I can somehow do this. I know this is very much needed for my purification. So when this attitude will be there, Maya will have great difficulty in entering. Why? Because Krishna has declared in Bhagavad Gita, Daivi hesha gunmayi mama maya duratyaya mamev ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, this is my energy, it's very powerful. Duratya, you can't surmount it. If you simply think that you are strong in some area, how strong you can be? Can you be stronger than my own potency? That you can overcome by your own strength? No, it is duratyaya. You can't. But mamev ye prapadyante. But the moment you surrender unto me, and surrender will come when we feel our humble position, when we feel that we are really unqualified. We have so many defects, we have so many shortcomings. We really need somebody's shelter. Then what will happen? Then surrender will come. And when surrender comes, then we'll be protected by Maya. Because then Krishna's divine energy will protect us. Then we come under the shelter of Antaranga Shakti, which can protect us from Bahiranga Shakti. By our own strengths, I am very solid in my whatever. I am very humble. And I speak so well that, so many things. So those strengths cannot save us from the external energy of the Lord. But only the shelter of internal energy of the Lord can save us. So always maintaining this humble attitude is very, very important. जय श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन ललिता देवी विशाखा देवी सखी वृंद की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम गिरिराज गोवर्धन भगवान की जय. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन की जय. पतित पावन श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय. श्री प्रहलादेश्वर नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय. भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. संवेद भक्तवृंद की जय. So the Lord says, Sura Sattama, you are the best of the demigods. And actually this form, this agitates the lusty people, not great demigods. Kaminam bahumantavyam, sankalpa prabhavodayam, and it arouses lusty desires. It makes people forget their own identity. It makes people think that I am the enjoyer, I am Purusha, and this form is meant for my enjoyment. The form of the Lord is meant to arouse service attitude. By seeing the form of the Lord, our heart should be full of humility, and thus we should desire to serve the Lord. That feeling should arouse. But this form actually arouses lusty desires. Sankalpa prabhavodayam, in the heart of lusty people. So of course Lord Shiva was not in that category. But because this is the desire of the Lord to teach the conditioned souls, and that is why this pastime was enacted. And as it is said, this pride comes before a fall. So we should be very, very careful that even whatever areas we think that we are doing well, sometimes the feeling may be that it is genuinely my strong area. It's not that I am artificially thinking in that way. But even if it is our strong area, actually that strength is not our credit. It is coming either by the arrangement of three modes of material nature, or ultimately it is all coming by the mercy of the Lord. And if we think that we own the credit for whatever strength we have, then that means we are bewildered by false ego. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankar vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. So this is another verse. Actually so many verses are there like this, which we should always try to remember, always try to meditate on. If we can meditate on this verse, then so many problems will become solved naturally. Because we think that we are the doer. I have done this. If somebody says special thing has been done by that devotee, I was also there. How can you forget my name? So many people's name was announced, my name was not there. How can this happen? How can there be so much irresponsible and careless towards you don't recognize devotees' contribution? So we should be very careful. If we can maintain this attitude that we always try to offer ourselves completely for all the services which are assigned to us, but at the same time always if we want to maintain a humble attitude and not desiring to take the credit of that service, that is a very high standard of service. So we should always aspire for that standard, because if we think that we are the doers, bring so many problems. That makes us attached to that service, that makes us attached to the fruits of that service, and we want to control things. That no, I have actually done this, so I will decide how it will be, how the fruits should be utilized, and so many wrong things like this. So this is the nature of spiritual reality. It is completely opposite to what material reality is. In the material world, we are taught that we should if you always think like this, you will develop inferiority complex, and you will not be able to do anything. You will become a mediocre average person. In the spiritual circle, when we maintain this humble attitude, and when we think that whatever qualifications we have, they are simply by the mercy of the Lord, it is not my credit, it is Lord's credit, and whatever I am doing, it is simply for my own purification. It actually encourages us even more to serve. It does not make us mediocre or like inferior person suffering from inferiority complex. It actually propels us to serve more. So these very important instructions are there, and we should try to remember these instructions in all circumstances, so that we can get the most advantage of this wonderful process. I'll just speak a few lines and wind up. So in the meantime, if anyone has any correction, question, comment, you can think about that. And we are so fortunate that we have got connected to this sublime process which is giving us the real knowledge. This whole world is full of all kinds of bewilderment, and we see that the whole world is actually heading in the opposite direction, and we are going in the other direction. But we are so fortunate that we have got the right understanding and right knowledge by the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And sometimes there is a chance of taking these things lightly and missing this simple point. So we should always try to remind ourselves of these things, and always try to render service with this attitude. So I'll stop here, and if anyone has any correction, comment or question, then it is most welcome. These are as usual. Yeah, very practical question by Durga Prabhu, and yeah, it's quite natural, and I also think in this way that okay, there may be some very strong cases you want to show to teach something, but of course, I mean the individual in that situation. So actually, we have to see. I mean, I am trying to humbly speak something based on my own limited understanding. There may be so many different angles, and I encourage devotees to share those different angles. One small angle which I can think of is it is possible that this was not, I mean, completely didn't come from the Lord. It was Lord Shiva in the first case who wanted to see this form. And the Lord, of course, warned him also. I mean, so that his reputation would be protected. But I think he was very confident. Lord Shiva was very confident that this should not happen. And then Lord, by his own desire, he created such a form that even so exalted, so strong, and so confident, Lord Shiva also could become bewildered. So possibly the Lord saw that he has great desire to see this form, and it possibly the kind of attitude which was there might not be sanctioned by the Lord. So the Lord desired. Ultimately, it is Lord's desire. So we can't say why he desired like that. So we can only try to humbly understand with our own limited vision. So this was what I thought. You can also share. You can give a better angle. Okay. Thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगद्गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।